Alrighty, hello gamers. Hello. Alright, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing fantastic. So, honestly, I don't have any plan for today, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what we're gonna do, but we are gonna be peak productive, of course. Actually, there's one thing we may want to do. That is our final difficulty system that I cooked up the other day that we haven't done yet. Maybe. But okay, let's first do a little recap what we did yesterday. After 5 hours of debugging. So we have a working typing test. That is flipped. I think after further retrospective, I feel like flipping the text is going to be unplayable. Now we can probably keep this in as like one of the max difficulty settings. But I don't think we're ever going to actually see that in the game, I'll be honest. Because that is just so trippy. I think even with 20 seconds, bro, I can barely do this while I'm not doing anything else. So I think first we should clean up the code a little bit. Because this is a complete mess. It's probably the worst code I've ever typed, I'm gonna be honest. So let's start with that and then we see where we go from there. And the thing is, there was still like an offset, right, that we didn't fix. I mean, if we look, the letters are like slightly too low. So they got slightly up when I flip back. Which is a bit annoying. But anyway, honest, do I really want to touch any of this mess again? I'm not sure. I think I don't. But it should be... Oh, this line, I think. Yeah, this one is like the base text. The text we haven't typed yet. Yeah, I mean, I like, look at this line. Oh, man. What did I write yesterday, man? Okay, so basically we have this, right? We have this for X, this for a Y coordinate. So that's cool. I don't think I cooked, man, I'm gonna be honest. Do I still have this one line here? So for context, I think it took me like 2 hours yesterday to debug this code, and all I had to do was literally comment out one of these two lines. It took me like 2 hours. Because we had like, we have like all this mess up here, and like one of these could have easily been totally wrong, easily. So I just kept looking at these. But no, it was this. I was so upset. I was actually kind of upset after that. It is such a dumb mistake. You kind of learn when you start out programming in like a different context, kind of, that you should never do something like that. But okay, whatever. We fixed it. I'm happy we fixed it. Yeah, the issue is still this. I mean, we could just test around until we find the magic number that fits. Which honestly, I think I'm that desperate. There's probably like some logic as to which value we should put here. Because right now it's the base offset plus a quarter of that offset, I guess. But I'm pretty sure if we put in 30, that was too bad. But that was too much. You know what we could do? Should I do that? It's a lot of effort. I don't want to do that now. We just put in random numbers, see what happens. Right? So right now it's too low. It's a little bit too low. So it should be a little bit high. So we subtract on Y, which means we go up, right? So the bigger this number gets, the higher we go. I'm pretty sure 30 was way too high, so we tried 27. How about that? 27 is a beautiful number. If I had to pick any number between 25 and 30, I would probably pick 27. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. I mean, I think that's it. Isn't that perfect? Actually, no, it's still slightly off. But actually, now I feel the green text is too high. Because if I look at this, this looks perfectly in line. And then this one is slightly too high. But what, can you show the prototype? Oh, what do you mean? What prototype? I mean, I guess technically you see the prototype right here. As this is hopefully far away from the final version. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, this one is too high. So the green text. Which is this one. Which, I mean, it doesn't make sense because this has the same Y offset as this one. I don't know why it feels off. But if we go down, we add to Y, right? So we reduce what we subtract. I mean, I guess we can just try random numbers. Then we see what we get. And again, I don't really understand what's like the mathematical relation between these numbers. If we're gonna have a minus 18 there, when our base offset is 20, and we have a minus 27 there, I mean, it's just a bunch of random numbers at that point. Okay, now we're a tiny bit too far down. A teeny tiny bit. So if we're too far down, we're subtracting not enough. So this is also 20. No way. 27. Oh, what did I say? I got confused. Of the mod? I mean, you're seeing it right now though, no? Or what do you mean? Or do you want to see other things that my mod does besides that? I mean, you're kind of seeing a development version of the mod right now, right? One of the events that can happen, which is like this typing event. Okay, wait. Green text is too far down. If it's too far down, that number is too big. So you need to subtract more from green. So we do 19. Okay, got it. I think the best part is we need to figure out like two different modes for this. Like one that has this reverse and one that is the default. Okay, look at that. That is perfect. That is actually fucking perfect. Holy. Yeah, today's an earlier stream. I do that every now and then. But it's an exception. We're going back to normal tomorrow. If that's kind of weird how like when I type one letter, letters to the right also shift a little bit. Sometimes. But I think overall, that looks decent, no? You know, I'm so bad at this. I'm actually so horrible at this. Oh my god. That's what I mean. I can barely do this out of combat. How am I supposed to do this during a boss fight? But okay, we'll figure this out later. One thing I do want to test, if we change the prefix text, I would hope nothing breaks. Type the following text. So we're not going to keep this. I just want to see if my code is robust to changes, which I feel like it's not at all. But we just see what's going to happen. But if that works, we can make stuff a bit more modular. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Oh. Oh. So I mean, ideally, it would center the entire thing. Oh. Which is weird, because we actually look at the prefix text and the random text combined. We take the size, and based on that, we offset everything. So I don't know why it's that off. I mean, the thing is, though, technically, as long as we don't change the text, I mean, it still kind of works. Right? That is a bit weird that it is that way. I mean, okay, if it doesn't work, then honestly, I think we're just gonna make it modular and we forget about it. If I can't change the text, honestly, I don't care too much. Okay, we're letting Mr. GPT cook on that. What's the mod about? Okay, I can show you very easily. So basically the main idea is what this mod is supposed to do, it should make boss fights in general harder. That is the base idea. And the way I envisioned it, we have like a couple of different events that can happen during boss fights that, well, should make your life harder. So like right now, we're making an event that is just a typing test. So you have to type some randomized text in a specific time span. If you don't, you die. And all of the buttons you have to press, I mean, you can kind of see it. They're all movement buttons. I mean, you probably can't see it because they're flipped. So we would need to type D, W, S, S, W, A. I'm horrible at that. I'm so bad at it. But yeah, we're probably going to change that back and display text in a normal way and not flipped, because I might be honest, if you're in this situation, you have a W, this looks like an M. Like, my brain cannot handle that. But okay, outside of that, we have a couple other events. Some of them are more creative, some of them are not. Like this one just summons like a black sphere around your character, which, I mean, you can't see the character. So that's cool. Also, it's like a graveyard background, which I think is kind of cool. But this one isn't too bad. We have worse ones, if you ask me. See, what do we get now? Okay, we get a bunch of portals. So what the portals do, they have a slight suck on them. So they do displace you. And if you ever go into one of the portals, you get imported to a random portal. Which you can imagine is probably horrible for some boss fights. Now, for other boss fights, you can just walk away. Which is something I do want to fix. Oh, we have this. Bunch of spinny portals. Portal shoot a laser. Laser does true damage. Very important. White number is true damage. Very proud of that. And yeah, there's like a couple more. Let's see if we get another one that we haven't seen yet. Okay, we got this one again. Yeah, we don't have that many random events yet. Oh, so mid-fight. I mean, the closest idea someone came up with that was doing a Pong game. Like, there's a little Pong game just popping up. If you lose, you die, and you have to win for it to go away. Which would be so much effort, but yeah. And the thing is, I feel like true damage makes a lot of sense. Because that way these events keep a relevancy, right? Because it would be a nightmare to just do normal damage. And then what if someone builds tank? What if someone builds squishy? And then someone has an advantage over the other end. I don't know, I just did true damage. I probably use true damage at too many points. Because like, for example, this one also does true damage, but this one's a one-shot. This one is a literal one-shot, which may be too much. 2% of max HP? It is. Right now, all these smaller lasers, they do 10% max HP as true damage. And again, this one is an exception. This one does 100%. Yeah. And the thing is, technically, we can also change this and make it into percentage current health damage. Which I'm still considering. I mean, it has like its ups and downs. I mean, we can do that. We literally have the code right here for current health. Yeah, still haven't really decided if we want to do that. Right, because if we do current health, we would probably increase the damage, but it has the downside. If someone is already low life, they don't really pose a risk. Right, you're probably just going to ignore them. Right, if they do 50% current health damage, you have 100 HP, okay, it's 50 damage. If you have 10 HP, it's 5 damage. But it's like hard to die from that. Yeah, and again, I do want to make this somewhat balanced for all stages of the game. Maybe that plus 5. I mean, we could do something like that, yeah. But to some degree, I kind of like the consistency of the damage numbers. How like you just know every shot you take is going to do like 40 damage, for example. I do kind of like that. So again, it has its ups and downs. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, current health definitely has something to it. Oh, this is one that we haven't seen yet. So it spawns 4 portals. And randomly one of the portals is going to shoot at you, but it's going to predict your movement. And we actually need to change this event because right now, you only see the portal based on its rotation when it's like aiming towards where it thinks you're going to be. Which, trust me, we already did a playthrough of this in Infernum. You can't pay attention to this. I mean, you can for some fights, but for faster fights, you just can't. So we're gonna make it that like the color of the portal changes until it like shoots something. That's like the idea. But yeah, so far, I think I can't really complain. Considering this is my first mod, I think it could look way worse. Let's just say that. Even though I also can't say it looks great, because we're literally just using free assets and vanilla assets. But it is what it is. Gotta start somewhere, right? What were we cooking? So I think the typing test worked fine, right? Oh yeah, I forgot the offset issue, yeah. What your teacher told you in Scratch and the stuff also. But I forgot, was Scratch like this visual programming language where you have like these blocks they put together? That was Scratch, right? Oh yeah, I remember that. We did that once. We actually did this once in school. Yeah, I still like the idea. I think it's a decent way to get younger people involved with programming. And I mean, you can actually do pretty complex things with that. Like, there are people that build like full games with that. Be good with it? Yeah, some people are crazy with that. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen some things that are like 1,000 lines in that. But like, does that make you like more likely to go into like the more normal programming stuff, or is Scratch like enough for you? Like Scratch is fun, but seeing this is too much? I kind of wonder. Because that would be what I'm kind of worried about, because Scratch is cool, right, to get into programming. But I don't know how well suited it is for like actual projects, right? With 3D stuff in the own rendering. Oh, holy. That sounds complicated. And that's what I'm asking, yeah. Because I can kind of see that, right? Because it's like it has like these same ideas and concepts. But I mean, something like Scratch is also a bit more visually appealing. I can see that if you're not into programming. Because for me, I did like Java first and then we did Scratch as like a fun holiday type thing. Oh yeah, I mean in that case, I mean Scratch is great, right? If you just do it for some funny little side projects, sure. Even though again, unfortunately, it's a bit limited, right? For example, you couldn't really like make a Terraria mod in Scratch. I mean, the thing is, maybe there's someone crazy out there who made like a compiler that lets you compile Scratch code into like C# code or something. That would be crazy. Do an online course on Java. Ooh. Interesting. The thing is though, for me personally, I learned Java as my first programming language. And I get why people teach it as that. But I'm still not fully convinced if it's like the best language to go in first. Because over the years, after doing so much with Python, I don't know, my opinion of Java went down a bit after I learned a different language after a long time. Even made Terraria and Scratch, where some people are crazy. But the Java is complicated. Yeah, Java is a handful to get in. Again, from my biased opinion, I would highly recommend looking at something like Python first. But again, I'm very biased. I'm a big believer of the Python cult. I love Python, it's great. It's super easy to get in. You have pretty much access to all the other object-oriented programming concepts as well, and they're optional, right? In Java, everything has to be in a class. Every method you do is in a class. Everything is with objects, right? Okay, if you had an actual motivation, like making a mod, okay, I can see that. That does make sense, yeah. I was talking from like a more general standpoint, but that makes sense, yeah. Like for me, I never really, back then when I started with programming, I never really had any motivation to really use it outside of school. So I just did strictly what the school taught me, which is why I used Java for like 5 years. Because that's all I knew. Which honestly was great back then. Like I had so much fun coding in Java, and then I saw Python and I was like, holy, this is mind-blowing. I just type stuff in, it just does what it does. There's not all these weird things I have to think about. It was great, man. But I actually talked with someone else the other day on stream. And I definitely see why people prefer Java in some cases. Right, because Java is a very strict language. But a lot of the mistakes you can make, Java is gonna catch them before, well, runtime. Meanwhile in Python you're very free. You can make a lot of mistakes that either aren't being caught or being caught way too late. Where it's like, what went wrong? Nobody knows. Yeah, it is definitely one of the strictest languages, I would say. But again, it has its upsides. Right, I personally, thinking back, I felt very, very restricted. And I like the freedomness of something like Python. We have like no types being enforced. But I mean, some people like it, right? If a lot of the errors you can make being prevented already. A silly knock joke. Alright, man. What is it? Should I knock? Am I the knocker? I'm gonna knock. Who's there? Who's on the other side? For the final project of the first semester, I'm gonna make a text-based game without knowledge of methods. Terminology? I mean, maybe classes? If it's not methods or objects. Oh yeah, I wanted to check my cook in the background. Pull up the Java software, alright. And I remember the good old days back then when I was coding in like, what was it called? Like IntelliJ or something? God damn, boy, I was cooking some crazy stuff. I made so many calculators for random games in Java. I felt like the craziest hacker out there. Man, it was great. I still have some of them, but I think most of them broke for some reason. Draw prefer. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, man. This code is so goddamn unreadable. We just do the same thing we did yesterday. Just trying to compare. Bro, how can I never figure out how this works? Any second. Bro, where am I supposed to pull this, man? There it is. Jesus. Okay, homie makes the total text size. Which we have here as the combined size. Base position is the past position is total text size. It's screen center minus. What? Does it start with math stuff? Went into text. Okay. I remember when we got taught Java, I think we used an IDE called Java Editor or something. We could literally like build entire GUI super easily. Never went outside that. Oh, okay. So I guess you didn't know what methods or classes were at that point then. I mean, it's definitely not how you start out. Right? Teaching all the things at once, right? But I mean, usually it's like one of the earlier things. Right? Animated text-based game. Oh, like a console game? I guess? Over 2,000. Oh my god. Ooh. Ah. Bro, I also had to do a console game once. For like an assignment. It was horrible. It was such a mess. And the worst part is I coded it. It worked perfectly fine. Next week we got another assignment that built up on that solution, and my solution, you couldn't expand on it. It just didn't work. Because I just hard-coded everything, nothing was modular, it was a complete mess. And, I mean, I just gave up. I didn't even care. But I don't think I needed the credits to pass, so I just said fuck this. I don't need this knowledge. I know I can code in Java. Even though I kinda lost my self-confidence at that point. But it is what it is. A choose your own adventure. I mean, it sounds cool. I mean, intuitively, if I didn't know what methods were, I guess what I would do for like every single point in your game, right? Because it would be kind of like a tree-based game, right? We have like, you have the initial text and then you have like 2 options to answer, right? And then you have some other text and it just keeps on going, right? I would assume something like that. Like intuitively, what I would do, I just store each stage as like a number. And then we have like a massive switch statement where it's like, if we're in case 1 and you take this, then you're in, then you're at number 2. I mean, that's exactly what I would do if I didn't know anything else. But I mean, to be honest, can you really make it more efficient though? I mean, there's probably a way, right? But at the end of the day, it's a tree. And you need to hard code every single text that's being written and then you can answer, right? I mean, of course, I don't know the details about your game, but if that is everything the game does, I'm not sure if methods would even really help you that much. Yo, hello. Very early stream. Hell yeah. It's gonna be an early stream, but also a short one. But I mean, if I remember correctly, wasn't Terraria like the same? Like, okay, maybe not this one. But if you ever happen to have access to the source code of Terraria, I can tell you, the entire game is just switch cases. That is like the entire game. And it looks awful. Okay, that probably would have been a thing where methods would have been huge. To just have one method where it like loops over the input until you type something correct. Okay, there would probably be a lot of redundant code, yeah. Which I mean, probably was just code you copy-pasted, right? You just pretty much copy like that loop and you just change the flag it's gonna check for. I mean, that's crazy though, because I think back then when we were supposed to do games, I think everybody did like the same types of games. Like the guess a number between 1 and 100. Like these types of games. That is like everything we did. Which I think is a pretty neat little game to do, especially if you have an UI. To realign the text constant. Oh man. But I've had a little bit of stuff to do with like with like aligning stuff in a console output. It's not fun, man. Rip your tab key. I mean, to be fair, you can put tabs into strings without pressing tab, right? Actually, does that even work if you press tab in a string? Does that actually... Oh, that actually works. I didn't even know that. Oh, I see. Okay, now the more you tell me, the more I can feel your pain. If you didn't know about any other things. Right, because if you had a tree structure, right, I mean, you can easily just check, okay, I'm at this node, what is the depth of this node, and then Right, def 2, so you make 2 tabs. 2 backslash tabs. Oh man, that sucks. Doing all of this manual. Ooh. Hey Purple, hello. Hi, hi. Okay, honestly man, I think I'm at a point I really don't care if this is not gonna be oriented the correct way. I think we're just gonna say type. And that's it. I do not care. It was based on Ultra Kill. Wait, isn't Ultra Kill like this shooter game? And your game is text-based now. But how are these two related? Not ready to be close to finish school. Hey man, you're gonna get it done. Think about all the great things that you're gonna do after school. You're gonna be independent, or not, or work or not, or something, right? Typing flipped. Oh. So we kind of need to reverse what we did with the flipping. Which actually shouldn't be too bad. I think it's just this part without the past origin stuff, I believe. It shouldn't be too bad. Wait, are we talking about the same game then? Wait. Ultra Cal. But just to make sure we were on the same page. Ultra Cal. You talking about this game, right? Oh, I forgot my browser is so slow. I don't know why Opera is so goddamn slow for me, man. Ultra Cal is a shooter? Yeah. School is fun except the times it isn't. Hey, man. It is what it is. What I can tell you, though... I mean, I obviously don't know how your school time is going, how it is. But for me personally, and for a lot of other people, like, if you think back to your time in school, that was probably the best time of your life, without you realizing it. Now, there are exceptions. It's not always. That's the case for a lot of people. If I had a choice, I would probably go back. And times were so good back then, man. I just didn't realize. Very hard to understand what to do. I mean, you just dodge the projectiles. Realize it right now, 1 week after school. The thing is, I didn't, because I had a lot of free time after I came out of school before I got into university. And then, I mean, that's probably around the time when it slowly started, where like, bro, school is actually not that bad. But yeah, I mean, it's what it is, right? Time only goes in one direction. It is what it is. There's not much we can do. Now, how do we make this mess back? Oh, you know what I forgot? We don't even rotate it properly. Actually, we kind of rotate it, but I was gonna make it spin around, maybe. No one enjoys it because it isn't fun. Only when you look back. Honestly, I don't think so. Because I mean, the fact is, back then, at least when I was in school, I had way less responsibilities. I mean, yeah, sometimes I would come home quite late. I had to study and all that stuff. But overall, considering everything, it was great. You know, you had like all your homies to hang out with that you saw every day. Made like all these dumb jokes. It was great. Like back then, bro, when I grinded MMOs like 16 hours a day on every single weekend. Bro, I was living the life back then. I remember my entire summer vacation, I would just sit there, grind the same MMO all day, every day with my buddies. It was, oh my, it was good. Yeah, this song actually goes kind of hard. Like, I think usually I actually skip this one. But right now I'm kind of feeling it. I think we're skipping this one now. I don't like Slime Gun, man. I always die to this bozo. Past origin. I don't even know what these names are supposed to mean, man. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, what is this? This is just everything in here. But this, I believe. And everything broke. Oh, because it's ambiguous. I get cringe. Always game alone, unlucky. I mean, I had like the big advantage back then. I played like a lot of League. And like everybody just started playing League, and I mean, we just played League all day. Does it seem the same playlist? Wait, what? What do you mean? This is the playlist I'm listening to. Just all the extended soundtracks. But we have it on random. I only play shooters. Get bullied for playing League. That sucks. Yeah, it's on random. I'm feeling a bit risky. Because usually, after like 3 songs, I don't know if you guys have the same experience, usually random playlists just break. And then you just get thrown out of the playlist and it just starts playing random songs that aren't in the playlist. And like, I think yesterday we ended up with like 5 dog remixes after each other. That's always how it ends. It's either boss rush or dog remix. It's always one of the two. I don't know why. Like the randomness in the YouTube play, it's just so broken. I don't know what they did. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, now how do we toggle that? The easiest thing is probably to just make like a hotkey spontaneously. You know, I should in general make like an actual debug hotkey that just always works. So I don't have to do this mess all the time. But whatever. So we say if we press a button R, we flip the flip. And then it's flipped. Cool. Let's go and also print the state. See what happens. And then ideally it should look decent in both scenarios. Only time you gamers with Minecraft. Like, funny enough, I think the only time I played Minecraft with any of my real life friends was after I came out of school. Was I promised like this one dude to play Minecraft with at some point. And it was like right after I came out of school. Something like that. What language? This is C#. There's still like an offset which shouldn't be there. So I think the flipped one is fine, but the normal one is too high. Yeah, this one is a little bit too high. I don't know why. Oh, great. Swows. Is C# sharper than C+? It is very sharp. It is so sharp. You need to be careful, man. You don't want to hurt yourself. What I want to do? What? This one is too high, so we need to make it down. How do we make it down? By making it bigger. In the base case, when it's not flipped. How do you make this higher? What did I say? We make it higher by making it smaller. Yeah, by 1 pixel. How about that? Or whatever the fuck this unit. I still don't know what unit this even is. C# is quadruple C+. Huh. Oh, that's what you mean. I've actually seen that. I do remember seeing that. Wait, now it's too... Wait, we need to make it lower. I just made it higher. Why am I crazy? But is this one too low? No, wait, green is perfect, right? Bro, I think I'm going insane with this, I'm gonna be honest. And like, we have all this effort just because I want to make the text a different color. Like, why did I even do that? Like, this entire thing would be like 3 lines of code, or like maybe 5 lines of code, if I didn't want to change the color. This is so stupid. But okay, we really need to change the color. I mean, it's really important. It's gonna add to the seriousness. Okay, bro, I already forgot. Well, what do we want to change? Okay, it's too high. So we go to like 23. To 24. I didn't film with crowd control. No, you're wrong. I did. I played this on New Year's. As a matter of fact, that is my oldest live stream on YouTube currently. I actually checked this one today. It's like 8 hours long. Yeah. We did play that. Only for the first half though. I think we played it until Cultist, and then on the second day I turned it off. So I just wanted to make the early game a bit more interesting. Missed it, I mean, I guess. I mean, it was on New Year's, right? So people probably had other things to do. It's still too high. Or am I too high? I'm confused. Wait, just to make sure, right? Because I always mess this up. So my text is somewhere. And it's too high. So we go down. Going down means we go up on the Y. So the number should be bigger, so we want to subtract less. Yes. Probably played League, I mean, probably. I think it doesn't change. Does it even come further down? I'm so confused. Wait, shouldn't this be 20? I think we have a lot of 20 offsets, right? That's what we used to have. Didn't know addicted you. I mean, I told you, man. I told you since a long time you need to stop playing so much League. I didn't want to listen. I think it goes back up. The thing is, I'm pretty sure. But actually, wait a minute. Why does this one change? Okay, you know what? I should probably do this differently. Wait, I'm changing the wrong number. I'm in the wrong case. Oh my god. I'm in the wrong case, man. No wonder it's wrong. Oh my god. Okay, honestly, thank you. I probably wouldn't have noticed that if you didn't. I probably would have tried like 3 more times. Okay, let's try it here. More text offsetting. Hell yeah. Oh my god. And like, it's the same issue I had yesterday. Like yesterday when we tried to debug this thing, I only looked, or like I primarily looked at these because we made like 50 lists for stupid reasons, which are probably unnecessary. And then the error was down here in one of these lines. Like sometimes I get so locked in one thing, I just don't see the rest. It's crazy. God list. I love lists. So I made like one list for everything imaginable. Yo, good night, Purple. I mean, look at this. We have a list of the current state, right? All the buttons we press in this exact frame. Then we have a list for all new keys that we pressed in this frame that we didn't press in the frame before. Then we have a list of keys that we want to listen to, so like all the movement keys. And then we have a list for all relevant new key presses, which are all the new key presses. But from that we only look at the possible keys, which are the ones we're interested in. It's so goddamn ugly, man. I mean, the thing is, lists in general are a really useful data structure. That is why it's like, I would say one of the main data structures in Python. Even though technically arrays are more efficient, but lists are just so easy to work with. Which is why, I mean, I kind of stopped working with arrays, I might be honest, even though they, again, they are more efficient, but it doesn't really matter in most contexts. Lists are just so nice. And you just make a list, you just put things in, they're just in there. It's just great. Okay, I feel like it's still, yeah, it still goes down like 1 pixel. I mean, lists are literally just a data structure where you put a bunch of stuff in. Do I have like an example what's actually visible? Actually I do, like right here. Like for example, event types is a list, right? and we just put in a bunch of different types. I mean, it's probably going to look different than in Scratch, right? But we just say, hey, we have this list. Put this thing into the list. Then put this thing into the list, right? And you can just do it indefinitely. What ways can you access the data? I mean, you can... What exactly do you mean? I mean, just the classic stuff, right? You can iterate over it. You can access it by indexing. Are these like the main things, right? You can also easily ask information about lists. For example, what you probably can't do in Scratch, I mean, I could be wrong, right? You can also ask certain properties about the list. So for example, we can just ask, hey, are there any elements in that list? Right? Is there at least one element? Which I mean is the same as saying, hey, give me the number of elements and is that greater 0? But it's a nicer way of typing. Right, or we can do really fancy stuff. And we can say on that list, go over each element and then for each event, do something. Event dot, I don't know, do something, whatever. And let me just look at this. Like, all of this stuff you can do with lists, man. Look at that. Holy, I don't even know what half of these do, probably. I don't even know what a frozen set is. I mean, it's probably just a set that's constant that you can't change, I guess. I don't even know. And Scratch, you have a block that makes the end item in a list. Right. You have a block that takes the nth element in a list, the length of a list, searches for the first of a specific thing in the list, and the whole list. Oh wait, these are the 4 options. Oh, I thought it was like 1 option. Okay, so let me check. So the first thing is that takes the nth element. You can literally just say, okay, list at position 1. If you would assign it to something. That's how we do the first thing. Length of the list, we just ask, okay, what is the number of elements in there? Just count it. I mean, I don't think it's actually going to count, but it just returns it because it knows the number, because it just remembers it. Search for the first of a specific thing. It just contains. So in this case, we can just put in like some type. And then it tells us, hey, is that true or not? So as a matter of fact, this one doesn't actually return that element. It just tells you if it is in there. So if you actually want to have one, you would need to do it differently. And the whole list, okay, I mean the whole list is just, I mean it's just a list, right? But yeah, lists are great. But I kind of wonder, are there also arrays in Scratch? Or no? Does it mean arrays are like the introductory data structure, I think, in most languages? There are no arrays, really. Okay. Was like arrays are similar to lists, kind of. The big difference is though, it is pretty much limited in the number of elements. Which, I mean, for some contexts makes sense. For some it doesn't. But overall it is, as far as I know, just a more limiting data structure. And it makes it more predictable. I mean, the thing is, you can also say probably that a list has a max. I don't know if you can somehow set a length. I know you can do this in Python. But a list with a maximum length is different than an array. Also, and an array, I mean, it is more efficient because the language, as far as I know, it is able to pretty much pre-allocate that space in memory already, which is going to make it easier to put things in and access them. That is kind of my understanding. Yeah. So it is a bit different, but again, oftentimes the list is nice because you can just put in a bunch of random things. And also I would say to some degree, arrays are a bit superior than lists when it comes to multiple dimensions. Right? Because I mean, it can happen that you have like some two-dimensional data. I mean, what would be a good example? What is like a good example for that? I remember back in the day, I had so many stupid exercises where I needed 2D arrays. High-dimensional data, yeah. Okay, let's just do it basically. Imagine you have a data set. Right? And a data set, you can just imagine it's a table. For example, we have something basic. We have, okay, we just have indices. And we have a bunch of columns which are just different features of our data set, right? Like, for example, someone has a name. Right? Or someone has an age. Someone has an income. Well, I don't know. A bunch of generic things, right? And then we have like different values for all the people. So this is like an example for higher dimensional data. Because the thing is, I mean, you can't draw it in 2D. You can't, because you have 3 dimensions. And now if you ignore one of them, and you want to have a data structure for that, you can't just write, I mean, you can write it in an array. But the thing is, you pretty much have 2 choices, right? Either your array is going to look like that. You're going to have probably the age of the first person, then you have the income of the first person, then you have the age of the next person, age of the next income, and so on, right? Which technically works, but it's not really something easily understandable to work with, right? I mean, if you only have access to lists, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, there's nothing else you can do, right? But again, if you have something that has a constant size, for example, if you get a data set and you work on that data set, oftentimes you don't need to add data to it. I mean, it's a bit different when you need to like pre-process it and remove faulty data and stuff. Right? But again, in general, you have something like this, which is a complete mess. Or you have a 2D array, which is just an array of arrays. So you have an array, and each element in that array is another array. Where you save again the age and the income of a person, and that is one array. That always has a size of 2. Then you have the next one, which is age of the next person, income of the next person, and so on. So I mean, the way you can kind of imagine this, I guess, is like a discretized coordinate system, kind of. Right? Where you only have like certain points in the coordinate system where you can't access some other ones. Which again is oftentimes the structure data sets have, because you only have certain points. Yeah, and one big thing is probably with lists, right? You just put stuff in the lists, but you don't really have a sense of relationship necessarily of the objects, right? So that's actually a good point. That is actually something I should have explained better. But like in Minecraft, if you have a chunk that is a 16 by 16, and we just look at like the first line, you know, if you're looking at this block right here, you know, if you go one step to the right, you're gonna have this block right here. If you have a list, you don't have that necessarily, because you just throw in the blocks and It would make sense to throw them in like some order, but you don't really have that guarantee. And again, arrays are nice for situations like that, because you know a chunk is 16 by 16 and it has a certain height. So you know it has a fixed size, and you can just assign every position a block. Yeah, again, if you want to simulate this array relationship, that requires some effort. I mean, it is doable, right? It is just, the issue is it can break. Meanwhile, an array, in that sense, it can't really break. Hey, Poke, hello. Which is why, again, usually you use lists for things where you're uncertain. How many things are there going to be? You don't know. Right? For example, in my case, I have a list of event types. We could make the argument, in theory, I could make an array that has a maximum of, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 dots, I believe. What are you talking about? We're talking about the differences between lists and arrays in programming languages. So in theory, I could make an array with a length of 6, because I have 6 events at max, which would work in theory. But if you imagine, it is way nicer checking, hey, is there an event in the list? Or even easier, let me just iterate over all the events in the list, which we do it here. It's a bit messy. But overall, it's nicer to just checking, hey, let me just see everything that's in the list. And in an array, you would have to check every single cell of the array, because you don't know if it's empty or not, but it's always there. You're too stupid to understand. It's a bit unfortunate. These are a bit... I mean, they're just programming concepts, right? I mean... Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best to somehow explain it. But I mean, I remember when I was taught programming, I mean, the concept of an array, I mean, it wasn't like something super crazy. But like first coming into like all these different concepts, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to know. But yeah, arrays are great for discretized concepts? Situations? Something like that. But again, technically you could also, I mean, you don't need an array or a list. You can always use one or the other. But sometimes one of them is just more handy because it describes your problem better. Yeah. And like, I remember back then when people taught me like multi-dimensional lists, bro, or arrays, my brain was expanding. It was a bit hard to grasp. But I think the best analogy I can give nowadays is just to always imagine them as a coordinate system. Where like a one-dimensional array is literally just a line we have values on. A two-dimensional array, I mean, it's just a two-dimensional coordinate system. And I mean, everybody knows what that is, right? But imagine you can only put things at discretized points. I think that is the best description I can give. Right, you can't put something... Actually, that's wrong. You can't put something in between. That's kind of the best description. If a coordinate system would only allow whole numbers that are positive, I guess. So technically you can put stuff in here. Even though if we talk about Python, I mean technically you can access the minus first element. But I mean you don't actually go into the negative. But yeah. But just another little thing I love about Python. Even though it is not really intuitive initially. But it's great. Love Python. You have to assign a maximum x value and extend the y-axis indefinitely. What? So you're saying you have a limited amount of x values. Isn't this technically an array then? Or am I confused? Actually, no. Is it? Every time you go over the x value, the y value goes up by 1. Huh. I mean, what does that do, though? So this is like a property of each list? But we kind of need to clarify. Are you talking about normal lists or 2D lists? You're talking about 2D. Okay, okay. Huh. I mean, the thing is, I feel like I can kind of imagine it. I just don't really know what that's for. Or... I mean, no, actually, you know what? Actually, it is like a 2D array now. What it is? What's what you're saying, right? Yeah, it is a 2D array. Where did I draw it? So what you're saying, you put in elements, and at some point when you hit like this boundary that you set, you go up. And you just keep on going up. I mean, I guess it is a 2D array, but the second bound is unlimited. Huh. But like, can you can also limit the second bound, probably, right? Or is it always unbounded? I mean, I guess that's one way of doing it is... I mean, I think at that point... It's... I don't know. It seems like an odd way of doing it, but again, I feel like lists are maybe more intuitive to understand. But that is... I gotta say, that is more complicated than what a normal list or a normal array does. Where it's like looping around. But okay, I guess it's a different language. Different languages do different stuff, right? Interesting though. Okay, actually it's been so long. I actually don't even know what the error was. Is there even that error? Or did we fix it? Actually, I think the letters still go down. Yeah, so the normal text, the not green text, is still slightly too high. I believe. Wait a minute. Hold on, just a minute. Just 1 second. Did I mess up big time? No, I did not. Okay, okay. Okay, I was thinking for a second if it's flipped, we do the code for the green numbers, which are the numbers we already did. And then this is the code for the numbers that we're gonna do in the future. Possible to give the text an outline? I would love to do that. I would love to have like a black outline. I don't think I can do that though. Because I know this is gonna be horrible if you have like a bright background. But I mean, it's already horrible, I'm gonna be honest. So we need to change up the color and make it more readable, definitely. But yeah, I don't think we can do an outline. Nah. I mean, it's not a big deal. Let's just go pixel by pixel again until we hit the right one. So that's what I love doing. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, watch this. Okay. I mean, if you ask me, they are not moving when I press it. Now if you flip it, flip, come on. So is the flip text too far down? I'm not sure. You could just copy the visual letters, place them behind, make it slightly larger. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, if I would do that, I would lose my goddamn mind. I would literally lose my goddamn mind. Technically, you're not wrong. But no. Like, the only way how I can see this breaking is the fact that there's like no space between the letters. Yeah, that is also an issue I see. But I mean, technically we could put spaces in between. It's just gonna look a little bit worse. But if it would support the readability, I feel like I would do it, but... Like, if you look at this, right? This doesn't look like anything special, right? It really doesn't. But it's so much effort because you can't change the color of subtext. It is... Oh my god. Put like a UI behind it. Maybe. The thing is though, I have never done anything with UI, so I have no idea how that would work at all. But we can consider doing this at some point, maybe. We can take some notes for consideration. Bro, I actually wanted to do my 100 difficulties today, man, but... kinda didn't get there. Black bar behind the text? I mean, that would also work, yeah. That would work. I kind of need to look a bit more into this. Because the thing is, I used to play a lot of crowd control, if somebody knows what that is. And they had similar effects that are below your character. And I don't remember ever having any readability issues with that. Okay, I do feel like though the reverse text is... What is it off, bro? I can't tell. In fact, there's no way that is a flipped S, man. This one is like 90 degrees rotated or something. This is so off. It seems like it's right. You know what? I think it's fine. I say it's fine. We don't touch this. So we have a way of flipping the text. Fantastic. Is there anything else we can clean up in here? Do we need this? Yes. We need all of this. You know, we still need to kind of fix the general offsets. Because I think the timer should be higher up. So I kind of want to have like a general offset where it like starts and then it goes depending on that. Y offset. Now, what would that be? And we can just look at the type of set, which is gonna be right here. So we just offset it by -20. Okay. Seems reasonable. Even though it's gonna look horrific. But hey, it's all for the sake of modularity, right? So the sends to 0. Then we have the Y offset here, which has -20 in it. And we additionally offset this by by +1? By 1. Oh my god. And all these random numbers are so upsetting. Okay, instead of -27, I guess we do minus offset -7. But why? I mean, actually, if it's the Y offset, why is it a vector? If it's just one number. Does make a lot of sense. I mean, the goal is that it's always centered on the X. Right, so we don't need an X offset. So you can actually put it here? But that's so smart. Wow. Look how clean that looks. Wow, that's like almost readable now. Okay, -19, that's the offset +1. Okay, and then we have the timer here, which should be the Y offset plus, for example, 60. No, plus 100. Let's do 80. And now the big question is though if that is actually gonna work. Yeah, can I get a like for this poor code I just written? Can we get some likes and subs for that? Holy, look at that! Okay, it's a little bit too high. Can someone clip that? Would be so poor. I'm thinking, actually no, let's do like 85. And then we should have the most modular thing ever. What's looping? Where's it looping? Wait, is there actual clipping on YouTube? Wait, there's no clips on YouTube, is there? Oh my god, that looks beautiful. I don't think there is. Yes, there is? Wait, what? But I've never seen an option for that. Okay, now let's make sure that the offset actually works. So what if we offset by 200? The text should still be clumped together. If it's not, the offset isn't offsetting. But I'm a believer. I believe in the offset. Oh my god. It works. It's beautiful. Okay. Now, what else? I think I'm gonna throw away this idea of making a text spin. You know what? Let's just do it once for the memes. See how stupid that will look. We would need to take the time, convert it into radian, pretty much. Yeah, I've looked through my YouTube streaming options before, but I've never seen like an option to clip. Because the thing is, I wouldn't even know where would clips go on YouTube. Because on Twitch you have like a dedicated clips page, but on YouTube, I mean, would you guys upload a sub video of my stream on my YouTube channel? I mean, probably not. Let me check right now. And that's the thing. I wouldn't know where like the clips would go. You would have the clips, so you would have it as a video on your channel? Get it as a nah, there's no way. Okay, let me ask Mr. GPT. Can you clip in a YouTube live stream similar to Twitch? YouTube doesn't have a native clipping for live streams in the exact same Twitch does, but it does offer a few similar options. Viewers and a streamer can click the clip button below the stream. There's a clip button? There's no way, is there? I don't see a clip button. Am I being gaslit? I don't think there's a clip button. Am I crazy? There isn't one? But you've seen it on other streams. You've made clips before? Huh. Oh, maybe I need to be monetized. Perhaps. Let me check. YouTube live stream. Clip. Clips erstellen. Hell yeah. Okay, someone on Reddit has a great suggestion. You can just do right click, copy at current timestamp and save it as a bookmark. That bro, that is a 5-head idea. That's clipping in the new world. I mean, the thing is, some people on Reddit say there is a way, some people say there's not. Honestly, I have no idea. I've never seen it anywhere, but I don't really watch a lot of YouTube live streams, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I would have to look into that. Because that is complete news to me. Of this. The thing is, technically we still need like some sound effects that play when we like mess up the sequence or something. But I mean, it's not that important, right? I mean, Who needs audio immersion? Probably no one. Okay, now, what else can we do? I mean, we can do like the difficulties. I think we're gonna do that next. So my plan is, right now we have 2 difficulties, which are literally just massive dictionaries, as we can see here. Also the third one that we don't use. Actually, no, technically we don't use the first one. But anyways, my idea is very simple to make infinite difficulties. The plan would be, we define 2 difficulties. One, which is the easiest imaginable difficulty, and one which is the hardest imaginable one. And then basically, all we need to do is to do linear interpolation in between, right? So I mean, basically, let's say one parameter is the number of portals. The easiest event does, for example, 5 portals. The craziest event does 10. Yeah, that's the idea. We have like a slider that goes from like 1 to 100. And you can choose any difficulty in between. I think that kind of works, right? Because if we say 5 to 10... Man, my page is so damn small. Because I mean, visually speaking, what it would do... So like we imagine, we have our easiest difficulty. This is the easy difficulty, this is the hard difficulty. This one says, hey, we have 5 portals. Hardest one says we have 10. And all that linear interpolation does, right? It just draws a line. And we just give it a percentage where it's going to read from that line. Right? So if we say we play at difficulty 50, we just convert it to a percentage because we know what the highest difficulty is. And then it's going to read out this value right here, which would be 7.5. Which I think we would just do normal rounding and not integer rounding. Probably. So this would be 8. Yeah, that is like the base idea. And as a funny thing, I believe how linear interpolation works. If we implement this, you can actually go past 100. You can ask for like 200% difficulty if you want to. You just can't go below 1, I believe. I think that's gonna break. But technically we can have infinite difficulties. Now the big issue is though, we don't only have numbers. Sometimes we have numbers, right? But oftentimes we either have a range, because the event has to pick a random number multiple times, so we can just give it one number. So we have to interpolate these ranges. Oftentimes we have random numbers. And I think these are like the main scenarios we can have. And I actually did some research. And apparently what you want to do in that situation, we want to interpolate the bounds of the random function. So like for example, right now, here we pick random between 0.5 and 2. And if the hardest difficulty is like 2 to 5, we want to interpolate between the lower and upper bound and then randomize. Instead of randomizing 2 numbers and then picking the average. Because it's like mathematically more stable. And it makes more sense as well. We will be trying this out. I feel like there's no way anyone would want to play this. I mean, what would you play this for? I'm gonna be honest. But you're actually not the first one who said that, so... It's gonna take a bit though. Because if I actually want to release this mod, it should at least be in a decent state. And as a matter of fact, I think that is not the main reason why I want to do this, but I think it makes the mod way more accessible. Right? Because I just don't like the idea of having this one difficulty I balanced for myself that I think is fair, and then it's too easy or too hard for other people, right? And if you have an option like that, I mean, everybody just puts it on the number they want. And the best part is, what I'm thinking, we can have like a toggle which has something like a dynamic difficulty or a static difficulty, right? So in one, you just set your own difficulty, and in the other one, the game pretty much calculates the adequate difficulty for your current progression. That is what I'm thinking, what we can do. Which shouldn't be that hard, because we can just... I mean, we just change the difficulty number. That's all we do. Can the typing minigame have a limit on the amount of actions? Have a limit on the... I mean, right now it's limited, so you can only get WASD. I mean, technically not. It picks your 4 movement buttons, whichever they may be. Doesn't have to be WASD. But if we can add more, we could. Technically, we could also like put your potion hotkey in, or your spacebar, like the amount. Oh yeah, I mean we can change that, of course, if that's what I mean. We can make this to like 30. So that is also something that is going to scale. So we can make the time go less and the length go up. Right, we can do that. And then we have something like this, which... Honestly, maybe I should fix the orientation. Oh my god. And the best part is you just mispress once and it's gonna start from the beginning. Bro, that's too long, man! And it died. Yeah, we actually have to change the centering. Because I didn't really think about changing the length of this. That would also break it. Okay, it's literally impossible. The thing is, I also thought about doing other hotkeys, like grappling mana or something. But I feel like other hotkeys, for the most part, they mess you up too much. I think already the fact that you're gonna have to put in a certain sequence of movement buttons mid-boss fight already is... That's a lot, right? And I don't want to force people to like waste their potion. Because I think that's an unfun difficulty. I mean, grapple, technically you can just grapple someone where there's nothing. I don't know, maybe. And we could also do custom keybinds, but I don't know. I think that's... Hi cutie, hello. Oh, what is this over here? The prime rework's being removed. I mean, it's not really a rework though. It's literally just spawning all the max mana. It's like all it does. A black hole quasar. I don't even know what a quasar is. Not a black hole, but 2 beams on the top and bottom. I have no idea what you guys know. I mean, you guys know what you mean. Wait, so we have a black hole? And we have two beams? And I go in here, I come out here? I have no idea what you guys mean. Let me see, what is a pulsar? Pulsar. Is a fast rotating strong magnetized neutron star. Beams are emitting from the hole. Okay, so like this. So we go in here and we go out like one of these directions. Just get like spit out. Is that the plan? It got lost alone. Like a polar thing. But what is this, man? Gotta load my music, man. One beam from each pole. So just this. I think the terminology you guys mean is a bit... it's a bit too much for me. I mean, it sounds cool for a boss, but probably not something we can do in this event. But yeah, we have to change the alignment though. But we can't really make this expandable. Google Images? I mean, I can try that out. Oh, so it is what I drew. Yeah, I mean, it's like the same. Tell me, what is the difference between these two images? They're the same image. I mean, it's the same image, right? I mean, you can't even say which one's from Google. So, why is it messed up? I don't like it being messed up. So when we draw the thing doesn't do its thing, kind of. So the normal text, when it's not flipped, we write it here. Should we like not add stuff to it? Wait. No, wait. The first one is already messed up. We need to figure this out from the beginning. The prefix is already messed up. We write it here. So do minus the combined size. Now, logically, I would have to divide this by 2, but I think that didn't work before. But I mean, logically, if I subtract the entire length of this text, I would expect the text ends exactly on the y-axis of my character, but it doesn't. So I think this is not gonna work. Which is gonna be El Kringe. I mean, I see it there. I don't think that would be... Would that be right if you also offset this by half? I don't... It should be half the text. Yeah, exactly right. And I'm pretty sure I tried this out before, and it didn't work out at all. Half its length plus something. Yeah, that is what it should be intuitively. And again, I mean, you can try it again. I mean, unless there's like a stupid bracket mistake, right? But it doesn't matter here, right? Because he's gonna do this, divided by 2, then minus, then the rest. But it's... wait. Oh, we only changed the green text. That's smart. I mean, let me just have this everywhere. How about that? Man, I love this soundtrack so much, man. Yeah, and that is what happens if I divide by 2. I don't know why it's so wrong. It's just completely off. It's so weird. And like, I actually also did like a lot of drawings last time. But like, if the player is here, right? We go half the text size. If we go half the size, we should be here. And then we have our pretext here. Then we add the length of that text, then we're here. Then we have the numbers we typed. We add the length of that, then we add the numbers that we haven't typed. But it just doesn't make sense. Make the message shorter. I mean, if it's shorter, it works. If we don't divide by 2. That's why I didn't see the issue earlier. What are we dividing by 2? The length of the entire text. So you need to imagine, we take the length of this entire text. But then we kind of divide the text into 3 and need to offset them based on that. And that is what I mean here. Like this lower line is like the length of the entire text. And if we divide it by 2 and take this as our offset, the idea is if we then write this text starting here, that it's going to be centered around the player, right? Because the middle should be here. Because we offset it by half. Because we start writing at the left side. Okay, but we set the length back to 10. I think. Yeah. I think that is not gonna work because we divide by 2 again. Yeah, now it's off. Wait, but... wait, does it natively center? Was we divide by 2? And now it's where the center is. No, it starts at the center, but... wait, huh? Wait, so we do minus the length. Wait, no, we do plus the length? Wait. Offset the center by a certain amount. I mean, yeah, but I was thinking offsetting it by like half of the text length. But how does the length of this text even make it start at my center now? I don't see the correlation here. I mean, I just don't understand how it works. It starts at the edge of the platform and then moves half its length. But it starts on the left side, right? I mean, we can test it out. If it starts on me, it should start on me. So we have the screen center. I mean, we can just see what happens if we render it exactly at the screen center. Which should be on my character. We also need to fix this later, what actually considers the character position. It's gone. But it's there. If you offset it by if you set it by a set amount to the left, it should be fine. Yeah, but what is that set amount? Because we can't just make it a constant. It was like the more letters we add, the more messed up it gets. So we need to make it. We need to move it based on a variable. Right? Isn't past origin supposed to be size divided by 2? I mean, the thing is, to be fair, we only use this in the if case, which isn't the issue right now. We don't execute this code right now. Honestly, I don't even know what these names mean, to be honest. I don't even know what it means by origin. But this one is not the issue right now. I mean, the thing that I just don't understand at all. I know for a fact that that is actually the screen center. Because I used this before. And we only render this at the screen center, which is there. And I just don't understand how this, like, where does this come from? Origin is where the center of something is. Yeah, but the issue is origin is like a parameter in drawString. Right? But origin, we just set it to 0. So that's why I didn't get why I named it that way. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a lot of insight how this code works, I'm gonna be honest. I got so frustrated in the middle with half of this because it is so upsetting, man. That is by far the worst event I've ever done. It was like 90% of things I needed to write this event I had no idea about. And I refused to go through the documentation of Tmod Loader. It is awful. I mean, origin should be the center of something, yeah. But again, we don't need this right now because we're not in this case. And it's the only case where we have this origin stuff. I just don't know where the center isn't in the center. That's what the issue is. If you want to start drawing the string from the center, you should add the origin. Okay, but again, going over from the origin thing, right? If we look at this line, we write the prefix text, which is type, at the screen center, which is literally just the screen center. Right? And that is the screen center here. So just adding like the origin of the text, that doesn't explain this offset. Honestly, I would say I have no idea what's going on. I mean, we could just offset it manually by some amount. But I feel like if again, we just take a static amount and not make it variable, it's probably gonna break again if we make the text size variable. That's the issue I have. Yeah, I mean, ideally, we understand why this isn't in the middle. And I think actually, as a matter of fact, I think I had that issue yesterday. I actually even put like debug dust on the screen. And the center is in my character. I just don't know why it puts it there, man. I don't know. Okay, I need to think about this for a sec. I'm gonna do one quick break. Be right back. Alright, I'm big. Alu. I mean, you are right. Technically, drawstring is... I think it's pretty much the exact same as sprite batch. Or draw object. What's it called again? I forgot. The thing on the... The other thing on sprite batch. The draw, yeah. Hippo, hello. I'm back. Remove all the numbers that offset it. I mean, that's the thing. Right now, we don't offset this by anything. We literally just draw it at the screen center. I mean, we could try something else. Isn't that like main screen pause, I think. Screen position. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, this is the top left corner of the screen. So I would hope that it's going to be in the top left corner. So we should see it like poking out a little bit. I don't see it poking out anywhere. Okay, what if we make a new vector? Good one, man. It's pretty damn funny. I mean, I laughed pretty hard, but my mic probably didn't pick it up. That's why it didn't hear me. If you do this. Actually, I mean, it's the same I kind of do here, right? Wait. Screen. It's the same. I mean, the thing is, though, these are like... These are screen coordinates, right? So if you do like 500, 500, it's going to be on the screen. Guaranteed. Right? So where would that be? Like... somewhere here? Yeah. You know what? What we can do... we're just gonna maximize the gen code. We're gonna make 2 variables. Watch this. Gonna make an X, gonna make a Y. Put this in there. Then we get this. Man, this is way too much effort to debug something, man. I really don't know what's a better way of debugging. Okay, if we press R, we increase X. If we press... Can I like key down shift or something? No. If you do T, Y goes up. Why not concat type and the letters? I mean, you kind of do this here. But we have the prefix and the random text, and we take the size of that. But if you mean why we don't write this entire thing as just one string, the issue is that we first of all we wanna color a part of it, which I don't believe you can do with drawString. Only color a certain part of the string, and we also want to be able to flip a certain part of the string, which is like this for, which is why we need to have it in different sections, pretty much. Unfortunately. Like right now, I'm regretting all my life decisions to do it that way. Because initially we only had one text, and we just removed letters once we typed. Ah no, someone told me make it green, that would look cool. Okay, actually, I forgot to actually do the prints. Because we have this. Now, what I want to see is the actual screen middle. Which is screen center. And then what we have. Which is going to be X and Y. It's probably the worst possible way of debugging, man, but I mean, at least we can see what's happening, right? Okay, getting closer. So I would expect the middle to be here. But it's not. Oh, it reset. Unlucky. But I mean, it's just not in the middle. But I mean, as a matter of fact, at least wherever he thinks is the middle, he actually draws it there. But is this actually... Wait, if this is half, right? 960 times 2. 1920, yeah. 1080. Where's the Uzu? It's top left. At least it should be. Yeah, because we have 500 on the X. And go 500 down, which is half our resolution. Yeah. It's top left. I mean, let me check again, because it just doesn't make any sense, though. Yeah, it should be top left. Just... It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, there's no way that it has something to do with the fact that it takes, like, the wrong coordinates, right? I mean, I guess we can just try it out. I think there's no way that's it, though. I mean, I guess there's, like, a tiny scenario where maybe this class is being instantiated. Actually, no. Actually, there's no chance that can happen before, like, the screen width is properly initialized, but it makes no sense. Yeah, I'm just so confused. Wait a minute. Is that actually the issue? I mean, that's perfectly in the middle. That is exactly what I would expect. Okay, so we calculated in the method. It works perfectly fine. If we calculate it up here, I mean, it doesn't have to do with the fact that it's randomly, right? I'm sorry if I'm screaming. Sometimes I get so loud. We get worked up. But it just... What? I mean, I'm happy that we found it, but how does that make any sense? And now it's off. What? Okay, let me memorize the values. So we have 960, 540. There's no way it has to do with it being a randomly. Right? That literally cannot be it. Okay. Still doesn't work. Then if we get rid of this, and we just compute it here. Exact same computation. The exact same. And for reference, before, the values were 960, 540. Okay. Do I even need to say something? Like, give me one reasonable explanation. I'm waiting. There probably is one, but it is beyond my imagination. I feel like people are gonna discover what dark matter is before someone can explain to me how this works. I'm full screen, yeah. Which again is weird, because the values we had before, if you multiplied them by 2, you actually got the full screen resolution. So these values, they don't even add up to be the full screen resolution, but they're the actual center. So, I don't know. It's independent of zoom. Like, even if we zoom, it stays relative. But I mean, we found the issue. I mean, we fixed it. I don't know why. Or how. I mean, I know how, I just don't know why. Oh my god. Honestly, these are probably like the biggest moments in programming that I hate. I was like, I hate when I debug something for ages. I find the solution and I don't understand the solution. No, it's not the UI size. I mean, maybe you missed it, but we fixed the issue. Basically, before, what we did, we set the screen center as a class variable up here when we initialize the class. And this gives us a different value than if we do it in the draw method here. That was the issue. We just do the exact same calculation in the draw method. And it works. I have no idea. But okay, it works. I hope I'm never gonna forget that. Just never do these calculations. You know what? I'm never gonna do any calculations up here again. How about that? Oh my god. I mean, the thing is, I just don't see any reason that could explain this behavior. It was like, initially I thought, okay, maybe something isn't initialized before it's instantiating this class. But that literally can't be it. Because technically this class doesn't inherit from some tModLoader class, so the only time this is being instantiated is by my own class, which is only going to run during runtime. So everything, every base functionality should already be loaded in and properly initialized. I don't see a single path how that could not be the case. And outside of that, I have no idea how you could explain that. Shut the hell up, man. But okay, it works. It works, I'm happy. Happy and slightly frustrated, but it works. Or at least we know why it didn't work, and now we can hopefully make it work. Surely. Okay, so we know what the screen center is. So now we can actually apply logic. So we have the screen center. My code runs before some vanilla function that alters screen width and screen height. I just don't think that's true. Because for the simple reason, we create the event in this loop. Actually, no, in this loop. Which is in post-update everything. Which I would assume means everything in the first frame is being done before that. Why would like the screen height and screen width be done at the end of the first frame? That is something that just... I mean, you could be right. I mean, I obviously don't know what exactly the issue is. I just don't see how that would make any sense. Vanilla code is a mess. I agree. It is a complete mess. But as a matter of fact, tModLoader kind of has control which parts of the vanilla code it calls when, right? And something like the screen size, I mean, it's pretty much a constant. Makes sense, cause screw you. Yeah, that is the best explanation I've heard so far. but again, maybe it's just vanilla jank. I don't know. Maybe. Let's just hope we're gonna memorize this issue and it's never gonna happen again. Honestly, because I just don't know how I was supposed to figure that out. Okay, we did. So if we do proper logic now, we want the screen center. We know where that is. We have our Y offset. Actually, can I just go back in time? Let me just do a little time travel. Before the time where I messed up my entire code. I think that's it. Okay, so we got rid of this mess. Do this here. Okay, so where do we put the prefix text? We go to the center of the screen. We go down by our Y offset. And we go to the left by half of the entire text size. I think that does make sense now. Even though I feel like we put so many magic numbers in our code to probably offset this issue somehow, that it's probably going to be completely messed up now. Okay, actually it's not completely messed up. Okay, but that is fine. The Y is wrong, but we don't care about that. The X is what matters. Now if you put this to 30. Or paragraph 0. Please, man. Please be centered. Oh my god, it's centered. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. And I mean, now it makes sense with like the division by 2. Honestly, I probably should have looked deeper into this yesterday, because I already had this issue where like the division by 2 didn't make any sense. Oh my god, that was stressful. That was so stressful. Yeah, we need to move it down. I don't know why it's so high up though. We should move it up. But the Y offset is minus, yeah. Yeah, I will never do anything like this up here ever again. Anything that is non-trivial. Trust me, I will never do that again. And if I do, someone, I don't know, someone tell me I'm gonna ban myself from real life or something. I don't know. That was such a waste of time. But I think that's one of these mistakes, to make them once and you will never do them again. To be fair, I don't even need this. Like, technically, I have no reason to do this here, right? We have the constructor, which we're going to call before the draw and everything. And we have a start method that we're also going to call before everything else. So yeah, we don't even need to set stuff there. Oh, okay. I'm going to stop complaining. We fixed it. Fantastic. I can sleep well tonight. Even though the offset is a bit weird right now. You know what? That is exactly probably the issue I was just mentioning. How we just set it to something that made sense before but doesn't make sense now. Because I mean, the offset should be a positive number, because we want to go down. But it's obviously going to break even more stuff. Wait, how did I not realize this for a single second, that the offset couldn't be negative? It's like a massive red flag. Okay, at least there's like a relation between the two that they're upholding, so that's nice. But if you did make it negative 20, is it just 20, maybe? Okay, wait, prefix text is fine. Past letters is fine, this is fine. The timer is too far down. We just want to take the Y offset and do like, I think like 20 below. 20 seems reasonable. And now watch. They call me the text manipulator. The text magician. Watch this. The perfect alignment. Okay, maybe 20 is not enough. But if you do 30. Now 30? 30 is a different beast. Okay, maybe, I mean, it's okay. That was your name in high school? That's a interesting name. It's a bit hard to spell. Okay, I think there should be a little bit more space. Just put in a 40. And now it's perfect. There it is, man. Is that too much? I think that's too much space, actually. So 35. Is a tiny bit, just a very small amount is too much, I feel like. Load the text first. Would you think so? I feel like it's already lower now. Oh, you know what? You're right. This is way too high up. I mean, actually, it should be a bit lower, A-Rod. I agree. What about 40? Actually, no, if this is 20... I'm thinking 30. Hear me out. Yeah, we're in a testing phase. Right after that, this is going to be the production phase. 25? Nah, I think 25... Nah. I'm a 30 believer. Okay, I would say that's a pretty good distance. On a scale of 1 to 30, that's a 30 distance right there. I would say that's pretty poor. Okay, now watch this. There it is. It's that easy. You know, this is still kind of stressful, man. Okay, what are the odds I can actually solve this when it's reversed? Or like flipped? What are the odds of that? If it's even gonna work, I don't even know. Maybe that odds completely broke now. 1 and 2. Oh, you have a lot of confidence. I like that. Please tell me it broke. Oh, no! Okay, we may need to fix this one. But once we fix this, it should work, right? But the confidence... I mean, I didn't even try it yet. You know what? Let me try. Okay, man, the time is almost over, man. That's no way. That's not fair. Nah, that doesn't count. Doesn't count. Okay, now the question is, do we need all this janky stuff here? What if you just take the same position? Which is just this, right? Even though, if we... I don't know. If we, like, flip the text, if the origin is also going to be changed. What do you see emotes in a YouTube chat? Magic. Because of magic. I'm using an extension that is primarily for Twitch, but my chat also converts YouTube messages with that extension. I actually don't know, as a matter of fact, if you can actually enable it for YouTube. I don't think you can. Maybe we should check again. Okay, let's just see. If we take the same position. Now, if the origin is also being flipped, that should be easy to revert. Okay, so the origin stays the same. It's just drawing it in a different direction. Okay, we can fix that. No, wait, why is it so high up? Why is it so high up? Oh, because we flip it. Of course. What am I thinking? So, I mean, it does make sense, right? Because the origin is right here. No. Wait, the origin is right here. We would normally write the text and actually, let me do this. Was I like drawing so much? Right, so we have an imaginary box. That is like where our text would be. Right, and the origin of that is right here. But we flip it. So we then have this box right here. Which means we just need to offset this. I mean, just based on the text height and text width, right? So we do plus. Yeah, we just add both. I think that's it. So we take the position plus the no. Oh, we need a new one. Because we need the size of both letters. Kind of. Hey Carlos, welcome back. We're currently fixing the case where it's flipped. Because it does make sense why it is that way. Because I actually just drew that up. Because normally we have this box with the origin being top left. But now because we flipped it that way, the origin is now in the bottom right. But we can just offset this to the right and bottom and we should have it. But if to go soon, I'm also going to call that really soon. I'm actually kind of going overboard right now. Getting pretty late for me. And I just want to fix this. And then we're probably good to go. Let's just call this the total letter size. So we put in the... Actually, don't know. Can you just add strings? Oh, you can. Wait, that makes it so much easier. So I don't need to do this mess up here at all. Actually, we don't even need to combine stuff. We just put in the random text. And then this size, we put right here. And then we go plus the text width to the right. And we go plus the text height down. Now watch my magic. That's what I call me the text position configurator. Right here. Watch this. But why? But I put in the right numbers, man. Oh my god, that is horrible. Oh my god, that is horrible. Why is it going away? Where's it going? It's running from me, man. Why is it so broken? But I think it made sense in my head. Oh, do we need like... Oh, do we need to like offset it by half, maybe? I mean, I don't know where the half would come from logically, but maybe? Oh, wait. Oh, that's not gonna work, I'm pretty sure. No. Because the issue is... would we correctly render the normal text, right? After we typed it? Yes, okay. Yeah, we used to flip... No, we flip horizontally, and we also rotate it. By half a rotation, that's how we are doing it. If you just flip it vertically... you would type right to left, right? But I want to make it that the letters are upside down, but you still type left to right. That was like the easiest way I figured out. Just doing horizontally and 180 rotation. Or maybe there's a better way, I'm not sure. I just don't want them to be like mirrored. Actually, are they mirrored? I don't think so. But the issue is right now we're using the random text, but we should be using the past letters, I believe. I think so. Wait, can you put in 2? Wait. But is that a thing you can do? Wait. Okay, what does this mean? I've never seen the syntax. I literally don't know what this means. I mean, I look at this method, and I would assume it just takes one value. Like, isn't this normally like a bit OR? Like a bitwise OR? I think that's how it is in Java. I've used a single bar. Actually, wait. Oh, wait. Did I save? I probably shouldn't have saved. Yeah, no, it's probably going to be messed up again. Wait, but now it's back at its... Ooh. I mean, I probably don't need to offset it at all then, if that actually works. But I have no idea what that does. I might be honest. I mean, the text looks right, but the position is still wrong. Wait, I still do the rotation. What if we don't do the rotation? How does that look? Oh? Oh wait, something's broken. Wait, something is really broken. Oh no, we still need the rotation now. Because right now we're typing from right to left. So we can't do both. Wait. If we get rid of the vertical... I'm pretty sure this one just looked completely wrong. I mean, actually it... Wait. Oh. I'm really confused how... No, wait. Oh, wait, no! So that... No, wait. This is so weird. I can't even describe what's wrong with these. I know they're wrong, I don't know how they're wrong. Okay. We need the rotation now. It doesn't really work without... I'm still not sure what this single bar did. Because I'm not sure if it really applied both effects at the same time. Okay, let me see again if we... How does this not give an error? But you can redeclare a declared variable, but it just gets ignored. Huh. But I already have this. Wait, no, I don't have this. But I do have this. We don't need this. I don't know, maybe that was the issue before. Well, actually, no. We don't need the past letters, we need the upcoming letters. Yeah. Okay, now I got it. Guaranteed. 100%. This makes 110% sense in my head. Is it so slightly off? I guess we just... Oh yeah, we don't offset it on the y-axis, I think. So get a vector back, so we can just do .x, right? Let me do this. Actually, no. Okay, just do this. Yeah, so we don't offset the x but not the y. And then, after all this time, we should have the perfect text. No matter what the scenario is. Never mind. Do we put it at half? As we put it at half then. Oh my god. I mean, it has to be something like this, but... What do you mean? I messed it up. I mean, at least we don't need this mess. So it's fantastic. Wait a minute. We're not using the offset. So what if we do... What if we do this? I feel like we could be cooking here. Oh, it's gonna be completely off. Okay. I tried. Wait. It should be only the offset. Actually, no. Wait, position is prefix and past letter. It should be only this now. Oh my god, I'm getting so confused. We're gonna get it. Anytime, any of these reloads is gonna be it. Watch this. Don't watch this. So we need the X offset. But we also need an offset on the Y. But I mean, it didn't work before, man. I mean, that still makes the most sense to me, though. If we offset it by its own size to the right and down. That's not how it works. Just not. Because now it's too far down. What if we just set the the Y, right? So the Y is too big. But we can't set it to 0. But I mean, setting it to half also didn't work though. Okay, let me just try again, just to make sure I'm not schizoing out. Pretty sure half the Y size didn't work. No, it's too high. Or what we add to it, right? So we should go down, but we went up. Yo, Mac, hello. We are currently reorienting text, or repositioning it. And we have been doing this for like the past 3 hours, I feel like. And we're almost done. We just need to like, get this one little detail right. And then we have it. Just one tiny detail. I mean, the only thing that's left to do is like make sure that this text is actually in line with this. Because when we type it, it does go in the right position, but in its default state, it's not in the right spot. It should be further down. I'm not sure what is causing this. I mean, what if you just divide? Nah, that doesn't make sense. I just don't get how this doesn't work. It just doesn't make any sense. So if we take it the way it is, it's too far down. If we have it, it's too high up. So what does that tell me? Not a whole lot. Okay, but if we look at the image before... Nah, I'm not trusting that. If you look at this before, we pretty much have this situation. But this is the box. Which should be. This is the box that he's drawing. And pretty much all he did like both have the same origin right here. Even though technically it's my assumption that it is the same origin, but I'm pretty sure it is. Because it's only rotations, and it also seems to be right with the transforms. So I mean, offsetting the X is right. It's flipped and reversed, exactly. That's what it's supposed to do. So like this looks exactly the way it should be, it's just not at the right position. That's the issue. And we offset it by X. That works fine. Like it's in the same in the correct X position. It's just in the wrong Y position. And we just get all the dog remixes again today. Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know if you look at this. Now, if we move it down by the text height, that should be it. But it's just not. Okay, what if we do this? We do this, boom. And we add this. Which I'm pretty sure we already tried. I'm like 99% sure we tried that. 99.9%. Oh wait, that's actually even worse. Oh, because we also offset the X. But I mean, if you look at it, it looks like if we don't divide by 2, it would be perfect. That's what it looks like. But again, if we remove this, the X is gonna be right, but the Y is gonna be wrong. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That is so weird. Oh, we could also do a different origin. We could try that. Then we do the original position. Yeah. What is the origin? Last thingy, right? No, it's death. It's this one. So I think what this would do, so it flips this around, then sets the new origin, and then position, maybe? Oh. Ooh. Yeah, it's not looking too good. That is not looking that great. But we just need to find this one magic combination where all the numbers just work. And again, the X is perfect, but the Y is completely off. What if we put this in minus? It has to be one of these. It just has to be one of those. And no, it's too high. Fantastic. Then what if we divide the Y by 2 here again? I mean, at some point I'm gonna have all the possible combinations tested out, right? Because I'm at a point I don't see any logic at all. I don't see any consistency in what I'm doing. How is this there now? I didn't even change the X. The X was right before, no? Or is it because we changed the origin, the X is also getting messed up? Maybe. I think the origin doesn't really help. It's like if we... I mean, if we do 0Y, doesn't it just put it here? So wouldn't we want the origin here again? Actually, no, this would be... Is this 0Y? No, this should be 0Y. Yeah. If this is the origin, we apply the position. Wait, but then the position alone should be enough. I think I already tried that out. I think I'm just trying out the same stuff over and over. But it just makes sense if that would work. I mean, it's probably like the peak definition of brute force, right? If you keep trying the same thing, at some point it's gonna work, right? It's even worse. Bro, it can't be that hard, man. Okay, I feel like the origin is a bait. I don't trust the origin. Okay, so what if we do... We take the Y. What if we just add half of it on top? Or do we subtract that? We subtract it, right? Maybe. I mean, we only do like half a rotation, right? So maybe that's where you take half the height and subtract it, kind of. No? Not really. We don't even apply it. My bad. Bro, imagine my mod had actual content And it wouldn't take 5 seconds to rebuild. Imagine we would have to sit here like a minute every single time. Okay, there's plus, because we want to go down. Got it. I think this could be it right here. That has potential. That is way too far. Oh wait, we do times 2. It should be divided by 2. Okay. Hold. Let me cook. How did I by random numbers get the exact position of the timer now? How does that work? Okay, just again, for like the 5th time today. What if I take this away? I think I'm in a mental asylum, man. I just keep on doing the same thing. Play Soul Knight. I've never heard of that game. Not sure what that is. Haven't heard of that. Sounds kind of like Hollow Knight. But if you look at that, right? If we offset this by half the height, that does look right. Let me look. What is Soul Knight? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. Reminds me of another game though. Does look familiar. Wait, no, this right now is if we use the base one. So we subtract half. Please, man. Okay, if this doesn't work here, I think I'm gonna give up for today. And we have to come back here tomorrow. Because I'm going overtime right now. Okay, you know what? Fuck you, man. It just doesn't make any damn sense. Wait, but if it's too high... Do we take a quarter? Do we just set this to 0? Last attempt. Compatibility with Satanist? Wait, what is that mod? Is that an actual mod? Satanist mode. Oh, what the? Difficulty for Fargos. Wait, I need to look into that. That sounds cool. Holy. I mean, the best thing about my mod, it's not dependent on any mods, which means you can play this with whatever you want. You can play this in Vanilla, you can play this in Calamity, Inferno, it doesn't matter. You can play it with everything. No, I don't think I'm gonna play Soul Knight now. We have beehives. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. What is it? What is this discrimination, man? Just because he's a little cell? But okay, I can't figure it out. Yeah, we have to come back to this tomorrow. How do we figure out everything about that? I think that should be so simple. I mean, what does this even do? There's even a video. Huh. We're trying to do so basically this text right here should be right next to the type. And I just can't figure out how I'm supposed to offset it. I just can't. And I refuse to just hard code a number in. I just cannot figure it out. Like, I think I know what the initial issue is. Because we flip it and rotate it. So we're in this scenario. But like the text is normally here. But again, we flip and rotate it. So I assume the origin is still here. So I was thinking we just offset it by X. By the text width. And by the text height down. And the X coordinate is perfect. But the height is always wrong. I set it to 0, it's wrong. I set it to half of that, it's wrong. Double, wrong. It's always wrong. No matter what I do. And again, the X, we can just add the text width. It works. But the height is just completely messed up. Ah, it's annoying. It's so goddamn annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll be honest. Would it be based on UI size? No. It's independent. Is it? I mean, the size is always the same. No matter what. So if you zoom in, it stays the same UI. I'm not touching any settings in my mod. It just draws it the way it is. You know, I never even thought about that. Making it like dependent on UI size. Maybe I should at some point. Yeah. I mean, the thing is though, I went overtime for like an hour. I really need to call it now. I would love to fix this today, but I literally can't. I'm gonna be dead tomorrow if I don't go offline now. So, I mean, we're gonna figure it out somehow. I hope. I mean, we figured out this entire mess somehow. We can figure out this one last text orientation. But okay. It's gonna work somehow. Okay, so, as another heads up, we're gonna go back to the normal schedule tomorrow. So based on current time, we would start an hour and 20 minutes ago tomorrow. So 10 PM CST, if anyone wants to join. Anyways, we will call it. Made at least some progress. Honestly, I can't wait to be done with this event. This was the worst event I've ever done. But okay, anyways, we call it. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for watching. Stay geek, chat. And I see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.